hears the first shot and thinks that it's a firecracker. He starts to turn and sees that the young man shoots and then is pointing the firearm at Mr. Masterson.
Well, we've confirmed that it is a 20 gauge shotgun, that the wood stock was sawed off.
This morning's school shooting in Roswell has created heavy hearts in that eastern New Mexico city tonight. There was an overflow crowd at the Civic Center this evening at a prayer service for the 11-year-old boy who was shot in the face and the 13-year-old girl who was hit in the shoulder. There are also new details on how the shooting unfolded, the teacher who stepped in and ended it, who the suspected 12-year-old shooter is, and where he is tonight. We have team coverage on all of this, and we start with News 13's Cole Miller, who was just briefed by state police on the investigation. Cole?
Dick, in just 10 seconds, state police say a 12-year-old boy opened fire in a packed school gym, sending 2 kids to the hospital as 500 students looked on. Tonight we're learning more about what happened in that gym and about the teacher who's credited with stopping that shooter.
He hears the first shot and thinks that it's a firecracker. He starts to turn and sees that the young man shoots.
The governor is talking about John Masterson, an 8th grade social studies teacher at Berendo Middle School. He jumped into action when a 12-year-old Mason Campbell pulled out a 20 gauge shotgun which had the wood stock cut off from a band instrument case and began shooting. After he shot an 11-year-old boy in the face and neck and then a 13-year-old girl in the shoulder, the teacher, Masterson, walked up to Campbell and asked him to put that shotgun down as he pointed it at Masterson. The boy put that gun down again and then was put up against a wall until a state police lieutenant who was dropping off his own kid at the school took over. Tonight, the governor says the 11-year-old boy's family does not want him to be identified. He has had a second surgery on his face and neck in a Lubbock hospital. He's still listed in critical condition. 13-year-old Kendall Sanders, who was shot in the shoulder, is also in the hospital in Lubbock. She'll be fine. State police says police, the ATF, and the FBI are all trying to figure out where Mason Campbell got the gun. They're searching his house and his locker.
I can tell you that today we've done over 60 interviews. I appreciate the assistance from our law enforcement partners that have come to this area to aid us and that are from here.
Now we'll have much more on the suspected shooter and we'll delve into the motive. That's all coming up later in our team coverage. News 13's Jessica Garate joins us now and she's been speaking to victims. Jessica?
And Cole, of course, the big question tonight, the big question is what would lead a 12-year-old boy to bring a shotgun to school? It's something everyone here in Roswell is asking. And even more baffling, why the 2 young victims were shot. We're learning more about them, both described as just friendly and good kids. Tonight, the governor confirmed 13-year-old Kendall Sanders was hit in the shoulder. Her condition was upgraded tonight. Classmates tell us she's very nice and friendly. The second child was hit in the neck and face. Now, the family has asked that the name of the 11-year-old not be released and has asked for their privacy. Classmates say he is very well liked, caring, nice, and enjoys playing sports.
I'm surprised right now. Why would somebody even do that to somebody?
My heart fell to my stomach because at that moment I knew that it was our sweet girl.
And just again, classmates say both Sanders and the 11-year-old boy were just the nicest people, and they just don't understand why they were shot. Many friends and family members have rushed to Lubbock to be with them tonight. Now you can tell this community, they really cared for those kids. They all came here to the Civic Center for a prayer tonight, and Tina Jensen joins us if you'll come in, and she was there tonight, and a lot of tears in that room.
Right, and more than 1,500 people packed that room. It brought the community together at the end of a long, exhausting, and unprecedented day. The date 1/14/14 was everywhere at that prayer vigil tonight. That's a date that no one in this room will forget. A group of churches organized the event as a healing moment for the community in what will be a long road ahead.
We never imagined that in this out-of-the-way place, such an act as this could have taken place.
We're asking the same question now in our community that the rest of the nation has been asking. When does this end? How do we stop it? And at what point are we done?
At the end of the vigil, one pastor gave an update on the boy who was shot.
The family says he's doing real good and everything seems to be under control as of right now.
Tonight's gathering won't be the last. At least one local church is holding a gathering tomorrow night, specifically for the students affected by the tragedy. Jessica?
All right, and thank you, Tina. And of course, talking to some kids in that vigil tonight, they saw what happened. It's been very traumatic for them, and they just did not want to have to go through that. And of course, another reason the governor has said tonight that she is providing all the counseling needed for these children. Also, a group of therapy dogs trained to work specifically with children who have witnessed a traumatic situation were able to help students from Berrindo Middle School today. The dogs just happened to be in town for training. The program was able to help the kids waiting for their parents at the Roswell Mall.
Their role is to reduce the trauma, changes the brain structure of the person who's undergoing the trauma, and it helps to reduce the PTSD or any of the follow-up trauma that may happen in these children.
Now, the CASA program says they plan to take the dogs to Berrindo Middle School when the students return to class on Thursday. Now, tonight, we're also learning more about the alleged shooter. Joining me is Lizzie Mitri, and you've dug up some more information about him.
Jessica, we've learned the suspected shooter is 7th grader Mason Campbell. Today, I spoke with some next-door neighbors. One woman who told me she would have never expected for this to hit so close to home, literally so close to home. And I talked to another man who talked about Mason, saying he liked music, that he was a good kid. All of the Campbell kids are good kids, and he doesn't know what could have happened here. 12-year-old Mason was suspected of bringing a 20-gauge shotgun on campus hidden in a musical instrument case. State police say they're searching that music case, his locker, and his home, which we were there for today. State police and ATF blocked it off, searching for evidence. They did say that they're in the process of charging the suspected shooter, though they wouldn't say what those charges are. They also wouldn't tell us if he was taken to an Albuquerque psychiatric hospital.
The individual that we believe is responsible for this incident in state police custody. We are yet to determine where we're taking him. We won't have that information as of yet.
Of course, the question everyone is asking here is why. There's been a lot of speculation that this may have been over a girl or because of bullying, but state police would not confirm that. Dick, back to you.
Okay, Lizzie, the shooting suspect's family has turned to a very high-profile attorney to help their accused son. Bob Gorence, a former federal prosecutor in Albuquerque who is now a prominent defense lawyer, is representing Mason Campbell. Past Gorence clients include the late boxing champ Johnny Tapia, the young mother who left her infant son to freeze to death in the desert, and Carlos Fierro, the attorney who drove drunk and committed a deadly hit-and-run. When we called Bob Gorence for comment tonight on the Roswell case, he said he would issue a statement tomorrow. As the two wounded students are treated for their injuries, classmates who witnessed what happened are still shell-shocked. News 13's Gabrielle Burkhart continues our coverage from Roswell tonight. Gabby?
Dick, some of the students that were in the gym when the shooting happened say they thought it was a drill when they saw the gun. An 11-year-old boy recalled the moment.
The kid went in with the shotgun, and then I thought it was going to be like a firearm presentation. But then once I heard the shot and I saw the blood splatter, I realized that it was real.
Now, that student tells us he and his friends took cover under the bleachers and heard at least 2 more shots when the suspected shooter, 12-year-old Mason Campbell, fired a shotgun in the school gym before class. Witnesses say an 11-year-old boy was shot in the face and 13-year-old Kendall Sanders was hit with shrapnel in her shoulder area. Both were flown to a Lubbock hospital. Students say they saw the shooter put down the gun, and that's when a teacher apprehended the suspect. Tonight, Governor Martinez says she talked with that teacher.
He hears the first shot and thinks that it's a firecracker. He starts to turn and sees that the young man shoots and shoots and then is pointing the firearm at Mr. Masterson.
We're told John Masterson is an 8th grade social studies teacher and told the boy to put down the gun, which he did. We tried to reach him at home today to hear his part of the story, but we were unable to reach him. Dick, back to you.
Okay, Gabby, the Roswell school superintendent had high praise for the Berendo mid-school staff. The faculty recently underwent active shooter training, which may have been crucial in controlling the situation today.
We want the staff to be recognized. We've done the active shooter training, and the staff did an awesome job today. I can stand here and tell you, but I tell you in the 10 seconds that transpired from the time of this thing starting until the teacher had control of the weapon, there was no cowardice.
Superintendent Burris added that teachers come to school every day to educate kids, never thinking that something like today will really happen. Messages of condolence, support, and prayers have been pouring into Roswell from around the country. This kind of violence against children is upsetting to everyone, but especially to those close to it, teachers, students, and students' parents who were literally scared to death today. Counseling will be available when kids return to school Thursday. State agencies are also available to help the community deal with the psychic trauma.
They're helping to provide with any kind of counseling at any hour of the day or night.
Red Cross volunteers are also providing help, including food and water, to the investigators who are working the crime scene through the night. Much of the support being voiced for the Roswell victims and for the community is coming online. People are sending messages and prayers on Twitter under the hashtag Berendo. The tweets are from all around the country. Some of the most poignant messages are from students at Arapahoe High School in Colorado, where there was a fatal shooting December 13th. When Arapahoe reopened yesterday, a month after that attack, returning students and faculty were greeted by signs welcoming them back and by increased security. If you need to talk to somebody about the school shooting, counselors are available on the state crisis hotline. The toll-free number is 855-NM-CRISIS, 855-662-7474.